Namaste, Galactic family. Welcome back to my channel, Indigo Angel. Welcome if you're new, and if you're returning, don't forget to hit the notifications bell and also hit the like button as you come on in the room. And as always, thank you so much for your continued love and support of my channel. Namaste. To those of you who come through and always show me their love, as opposed to their hate. Because as you know, I'm an empath. I feel everything to my core. I can see who's really real, who's really showing me love, and who hides and kind of plays both sides. Those who basically follow just to hit the dislike button. I mean, at the end of the day, don't you think that's kind of rude to follow someone just to continuously hit the dislike button? Like, I don't know. I feel like some people probably have better things to do with their manifestation of the consciousness that they're using in their reality at this time. It just doesn't seem to how it would be benefiting you in your life to follow just to hit the dislike button. I really don't completely understand it, but I guess there are emotional attachments to those toxic types of abusive currents of energy that do exist on the planet. You know, I do get like a remote view where the veil is removed and I can see where it's coming from. I can see the dark places inside. I can see the hurt. I can see the envy. I can see it's coming from jealousy. I can see it's coming from hate. And I can feel the passion of the misery, okay? Because misery loves company. And I'm only addressing this for a moment because I feel like it's important for me to at least say this on my channel, that if you are following me just to hit the dislike button, please do not stay subscribed to my channel. I really appreciate it if you would take your frustration and your energy and use it somewhere else. Go dislike somebody else. Go to someone else's channel. Go ahead and hate them, because at the end of the day, I'm not here as your garbage receptacle of what everything is wrong with the world. Okay, so I get that I'm going to get dislikes on my videos. That's not something that I can stop, but I do feel that there is some sort of target on me when it comes to my content. So if you don't like it, I just ask you to please unsubscribe and don't follow my channel. I mean, that's all there is really to it, because otherwise, if you're just hanging around and you're just, I mean, obviously you like it. You're here for a reason. You're called to it for a reason as much as you don't like it. So you might as well just like the video, put a like on the video, okay? And like I said, I get that I'm going to get dislikes. There is a hate movement, okay? There is a death current that is a real existing current that people's molecular matter body responds to. It is outside of them because they don't actually have the mental capacity to stop it. It is the mentality of cancel culture. This is the mentality of the archons, and this is the Anunnaki genetics that are being released at this time. That it's not even so much they're being released at this time, they're accessed on a genetic memory field that just prompts itself to defend what they feel is in the accordance of their demise, okay? So if you're coming to take their gold, if you're coming to do anything that is resonating at a frequency that's not something that they can master manipulate, then they're going to basically try to stop anyone who's doing this work. They are on an accelerative thrust to try to prevent everyone moving the grids and gates into 12D. Okay, grid keepers and gatekeepers, you are under the most attack. Indigo type 1s, you're under the most pressure. And it's because the higher you vibrate, the higher the art forms, right? The higher the expression. It's you're tapping into all kinds of different remnants of your soul essence, whether that's on a higher dimensional level, or you're going back into time, or you're going into the future, or you're going into the astral, or you're going into the galactic and quantum realms. Wherever it is that you're actually bringing forth this information, as long as you feel that you are in a state of co-creation with the divine, it really doesn't matter what anyone else is going to say about it. And so the higher that you bring forth this information, the higher the art, the higher the expression, the higher the frequency, the higher levels of bosses you ultimately have to overcome in this video game, in this simulation. They present through people you know, and they present through all kinds of toxic forms of abuse, right? All of the subtlety undercurrents of abuse to try to stop you on an energetic level, to basically blank slate you and to feed and harvest all of the energy that you have and take you into a void space of confusion and of forgetfulness. And this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to make you forget what you came to do in all moments and redirect you in the most unexpected ways. Okay, so this is the real spiritual warfare that's playing out. And this will only become more intense as we get closer to the galactic center, because planetary shadow is clearing through December, and planetary quantum overrides human quantum, and it therefore pulls you into a vacuum-like funnel. And this is the underworld, planetary underworld experience. This is the time of year where it's very hard to keep your head above water, because the attacks will become so frequent. They will become so intense. This will be coming from a lot of different genetic lines. Like I said, Anunnaki is definitely one. You're also going to see the battles in the bloodlines themselves. So the hybridizations will start to play themselves out within themselves. So you'll see war going on, Christ versus Antichrist within other people's DNA. The war and the battles will be played out in their own bloodlines. So a lot of people will actually, instead of projecting their position of authority through these gene codes of memory, they will instead basically go into a battle within their own mind. And a lot of people contribute this to the Mercury Retrograde, and that's fine. But there's also a heightened plasma field around these specific memory codes that activate in accordance to the gate sites as well. So it's encoded in the Stargate signets and also in the shields, the planetary shields, which are heavily busted, and many of the shields are down right now. And this is another reason for heightened militarization of this genetic memory that's imposing itself through people who carry the codes. Okay, so that's all playing out right now. So what I ultimately want to say is you've got to keep your body's vibration up. All of the countries right now who are experiencing the heightened disproportionate reactions to the virus, and also the political campaigns that are disproportionately responding to the coronavirus, and they're putting their countries on major lockdowns. These are the most densest countries in the world right now. And so the people on a level of mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, and physical health are hurting very much right now. And it's actually eating all of the quantum within their energetic field. And so it's so important right now at this time, specifically if you're residing in the countries that are taking the greatest hit from their political scams, and the political parties that are feeding the higher power structures of global control and Agenda 21. It's so important if you're residing in these countries to do everything you can to be keeping that body's vibration up, to keep you from being sucked down into that vacuum current of the underworld experience. And yes, I just used the underworld word. I'm sorry if y'all don't like it. It's an expression to define a realm of creation. And so I can tell you guys, going from Egypt back to the United States, I experienced the deepest drop in density. This is honestly the reason why I have not been on YouTube for 3 weeks, is coming back here, it was like I entered the reflection of the artificial sun. When I was in Egypt, I was experiencing the highest solar codes I was being received into my matter body. My chakras were very full of the highest helium spectrum. My entire atomic structure and plasma body was full of the highest helium spectrum into the diamond codes, the light, the high photonic, white diamond, platinum diamond, gold, all of these helium spectrums. I was attaining this 24 to 48 strand atomic scale within my perceivability in my body, in my plasma. That has plummeted coming back to the United States. I immediately felt a complete drop in density where my body literally released all of the energy from the chakras. It was like the 5G radiation exposure, the EMF that's residing here in this country just basically depleted me. So I, over the last few weeks, have had not a lot to give. I'm just starting to bounce back today, and hence why I'm recording. But basically, it was going from that shift in the solar codes that I was receiving from the sun in Egypt. The exposure to the sun was much more pure. Okay, and I don't even want to get into the freedom that they're experiencing in their country right now versus the States. It's almost like the coronavirus doesn't exist. They are not on the same level of severity of lockdown and brainwashing that the States is under in terms of the news, the censorship that's being provided. It's not the same. People are more involved in life there. They're actually out in the streets. They're out in their city. They're active. They're more community-like, and they have a lack of 5G exposure. And so I really could feel the difference going from Egypt to the States. So it's taken me a little bit of time to recuperate. But I just wanted to say to you guys, please stay in love. Please stay in high vibration. But also please consider the people that are putting themselves out there on YouTube right now, using their voice, following their mission. It's bad enough that the people doing this are not only up against the giants, the Nephilim-minded collectives, the censorship giants of Facebook and YouTube. Even though I'm on this platform, utilizing this platform is falling apart for a lot of people right now. People listening and watching this should really understand that these are censorship giants. They are contracted with Agenda 21 implementations, Bill Gates and whatever Rockefeller that Zuckerberg's in bed with. These are the censorship giants, okay? They're destroying voices, they're destroying channels, they're destroying platforms. And the people who are speaking up and they are invested into the mission, into bringing forth as much information as possible, to bringing forth the truth, to bringing forth, even if it's not, something's not true, they're bringing forth information for you to decide what is and isn't true. And these giants are destroying channels and platforms right now. So I just want to say this. I'm not trying to get my own channel ripped down, but these people are the ones trying to fight the machine. These are the voices. And I honestly just received a list of about 21 channels that were just ripped off YouTube for speaking truth. Okay, so the censorship right now is out of control, the manipulation, all of this playing out, and the end of the Kali Yuga human behavior. If you listen to my Kali Ma invocation, I go over a deep poetic justice of this Kali Yuga human behavior. And it's important that we support people that are fighting for this freedom, because this is a form of fighting for freedom. And we talk about releasing slavery contracts. We talk about attuning to the alchemical resonance of gold inside of the body. And we want to retrieve ourselves and unbind ourselves from these Anunnaki slavery chains. Okay, this is how we go about it, is for standing up for the people who are speaking on behalf of fighting the machine. And so we have to protect each other. We can't hurt the small people doing the work. We can't hurt the people that are trying to stand in the way and as a shield for what's best for humanity. Okay, these are people using their voices, using their hearts. They're the ones that are fighting the disproportionate responses to the virus, fighting the global takeover that's happening. Okay, so support your fellow beings right now who are doing this warrior work. That's all I have to say. Stop putting dislikes on videos and put likes on videos. I mean, if someone is speaking from their heart, if someone is doing art, if someone is presenting something that you know comes from a deeper place inside and that it is in the wellness, in the best interest of humanity, and they're using their voice, like, support these people. It's a hard thing to do sometimes. You really have to put your ego aside sometimes and think, no, I'm not going to hate this person. I've even had to do that myself, where I feel my ego being triggered. I have to step back and be like, no, I'm not going to respond in a way that propagates more of the undercurrents of hell. And so just all I'm saying is support your fellow beings right now doing this warrior work. It's such a dangerous time to be a free thinker at this time. It's a dangerous time to be an artist. So we have to protect each other, guys. Okay, and the Asherah invocation was to bring a healing, a clearing, and a great purification to the limiting mindsets of objectification. So those of you who watched my Asherah invocation, I was trying to create an artful masterpiece that would encompass the real undercurrents of why women have not been equal, why women have been undervalued, why women have not been appreciated and sexualized for centuries, the limiting hooks that are basically sunken into the ancestral fragmentations of your Grail line. Okay, this all comes up through Hydra. This is all Hydra mythology, but also other mythologies that work in cohesiveness with Hydra. Okay, this is the brainwashing of, I was clearing the brainwashing also of other women who are fighting for patriarchy, because there's a whole plethora of females that stand against other women trying to really bring forth the sustenance and the essence of feminine, divine feminine, unbridled, unshameful, divine essence and expression on this earth. Okay, there is a whole plethora of women fighting against women, fighting against their own good and for the good of other women. Okay, the Karens, the Beckys. Okay, and it's not just the Karens and the Beckys, it's those in the consciousness community that see through hurt, see through envy, see through jealousy, because at the end times of the Kali Yuga and the times of Kali, this is all that people can see is through the fire and the rage of these undercurrents of hell that keep the collective swirling in the funnel into the phantom systems and into the hijack systems and straight into the gate, straight into the gates that harvest the loosh, that harvest the energy. Okay, so again, we need to support each other. Women need to support women. I always try to support my female friends and what they do in their businesses, what they do in their spiritual practices and their spiritual development. I do support the divine feminine, and just know that that Asherah invocation was to bring forth the awareness of the burning of the pagan witches. Okay, the silencing of your right to choose over your body, propagated by the masculine's ignorance and egotistical desires. Okay, patriarchal law and order that we as women have fallen under. Why we ain't never had no female presidents. Why strippers and stripper poles exist, right? The Asherah pole itself, okay? It's symbolism. It takes from many different forms and emanations through contemporary human expression. And I just want to say, if you're following me to dislike my videos, you might as well just start liking them, because obviously you're called to it for a reason. So just come on in and embrace the love. Stop resisting it. Is it my face, the way I talk, the way I reflect my energy? We all have to remember that at the end of the day, everything is just a reflection of ourself inside. I am a reflection of you. Okay, you might not like the reflection, but it's ultimately a representation of the things you hold inside of yourself that you're transcending, or that you can't stand, or that you're healing, or that whatever it is, right? But I am a reflection. I am an emanation of an aspect of your soul as well. And so when you cast hate, the hate always comes back tenfold. It comes back ×3 at bare minimum. So I just want to say, all in all, I love you guys so much. I love those of you who keep it real with me, who don't propagate hate. But if you have constructive criticism, it's, as long as it's in alignment to delivering the message in a way that it's not hurtful and degrading and keeping me locked and limitations of my growth through pain, through the pain body, it's welcomed, because it's something that I can use as a tool to help make myself better. And so I just want to say, those of you who show me the love and keep it real with me, you're the reason why I keep pushing forward with my studies and my spiritual guidance that I receive from the divine to keep delivering these messages. Okay, guys, and that's all I want to say today. I just wanted to give a quick update, just kind of let you know how I'm feeling at this moment. And that now that I'm back from Egypt, I'm more available for starseed origin readings. I'm also going to be putting up a 48 DNA strand activation, 2 48 DNA strand activations up on my Patreon. One is going to include a multiple set of Merkabas that we run through the energy field using the higher helium light spectrum. And then also going to be doing a grid and gate site according to the solar geometries that are used at the Stargate location itself in Egypt. I'm going to be using this encoding to do a 48 strand DNA activation. It also will include visualizing by location as well. So I want to start working more with bilocation propagation through visualization. And that's something that we're going to be doing on Patreon. I will have those videos up by the weekend, which I'm really excited to bring to you guys. The next series that I'm also going to be doing on Patreon will be working on alchemizing to the resonance of gold to assist further and more with releasing slavery contracts that have been genetically manipulated into the DNA that prevents people from achieving their noble desires in life. So I want to continue working on that on my Patreon. So you guys can find that at patreon.com/indigoangel. And also, if you're interested in services, you can go to indigoangel222.com for starseed origin readings, Akashic record readings, or a platinum reading. Or I also have a Hydra reading, which is where you do a starseed origin reading plus a Zoom session with me that I can record and give to you as well. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to deliver this message today. We got to support each other. We have to support channels. They're being ripped down off of YouTube. Censorship is at its worst, disproportionate responses to the virus. There's just so much going on, so much manipulation. All of the countries that are on lockdown right now, that are going through major lockdown. Basically, I send you guys the highest love and light and helium spectrum, the highest vibration of solar codes and solar geometry to help get you through this time. I hope that you can rise up in your empowerment to defeat the governmental power implementations that are overriding a lot of individuals right now and pulling those into the undercurrents of the shadow. And I just send you guys all of my love. And so I will be putting out this Aquila grid update next. So I'm excited to jump into this. You guys, love you so much. Namaste.